Daggerr Knives Vendetta frame lock made in Russia. This slim dagger-like design, this looks very unique and it's a very beautiful knife. Some of the specs: we've got a blade length of 5 inches long, 12.7 centimeters. Wow, this is a long dagger spike-like shaped blade with a cutting edge of 4.75 inches, 12 centimeters cutting edge, and overall length in the open position, it's 10.25 inches, 26 centimeters. We've got a D2 blade, and blade thickness on this slim slicer, we have it at 0.125, 3.2 millimeters. We've got G10 handles with handle length 5.25 inches, 13.4 centimeters, and pretty lightweight on this guy, 4.74 ounces, 135 grams. It's a frame lock flipper, runs on bearings. However, we also have a thumb hole opening, spider hole like. Made in Russia. As far as I know, this got Chinese parts, but it's been built in Russia. It feels like a quite well built, no lock stick. Very light lock stick, actually, I would say. Even though it's quite slim, it's not difficult to close and open the knife. It does not feel uncomfortable in the hand. The G10, it's a little bit, it's a very low, I would say, or very small, I don't know how to call it, way too over machined G10. When your hands get a little bit wet, it kind of gets it slides. Your fingers do slide on it, especially on the other side, but you can hold it well. We've got the glass breaker and this pretty unique shaped pocket clip, which is not bad. It stays in pocket very well. And price on this guy, right now you can find it online between $75 and $100. Blade HQ had it at $75 for ones with D2. However, you have an option also to buy this knife with S35 VN blade. It flips very well. I like the ergos on this knife, even though my fingers slide. I like the slim design. Reminds me of a Bogusevsky Spike in a way, because yeah, it's also has this awesome spiky stubby design. And this slicer is pretty cool. Just check it out. It does a perfect job slicing. That's why it's got a 0.125 inches thick blade. It is a designed to be slicer. I like this slim slicer. I like the long blade, 5 inches. It's a very well thought of and quite well built knife. As with the Spike and other Spike spear design knives that has a very sharp point and a slim blade, often what you find, if you put enough pressure on the tip would either bend or break. For example, with S30 V blades, your tip might break if you apply a lot of pressure against hard surface. S35 VN, since it's more elastic, it might bend. D2, if it's heat treated right, if it's heat treated well, that's why I like American heat treated D2s like D2 from Greg Medford. Greg Medford does amazing job on D2 steel. The way he treats it, what kind of magic he does, I don't know, but his D2 is as super steel as it could get. This D2, I don't know what kind of D2 is it, who did the heat treating. I would just assume it to be, let's just assume and say it's a good, decent quality D2. I would change, what I would change on this knife, the weaknesses, yeah, this G10, it's too it slides. I think if there was some more machining, maybe lines here, or jimping, if we had some jimping over this spine of the frame, it would have been very welcome, but flipper tab still holds your finger very well. We have this mysterious hole here that I think we've seen on a lot of knives. This is additional, like a stop pin. If you put a pin inside, it would prevent knife from locking. I don't know why they do it. It's not practical, but a lot knife makers do it. I've seen it on my cold steel 4 Max, and the back lock is so insane on it, it would never fail on you. And I would assume also on this one, what kind of pressure do you need to put in order to make sure the frame lock fails? Enormous pressure that you most probably will never need to put on it. Overall, I think this knife deserves maybe 9 out of 10 points. This is a very nice, sweet, slim, beautiful, sexy looking flipper. And I think for the price of 75 to 100 bucks for this, it's an awesome deal for this knife, and I like it a lot.